Hello, cats! Welcome back to another episode of Chat About That. I'm your host, Bella, and in this episode, I'm going to be talking about the best 21 things of 2021. I am very excited to be talking about the 21 best things of 2021. 2021 was definitely better than 2020, but there's still a long way to go in the world before I think everyone's going to be having a really good year. But there are a lot of really exciting things, so I wanted to chat about that. I have 4 categories of the best things that happened, and the first category I'm going to be talking about is my life updates. Early 2021, I started a new job with a really amazing company, and I've enjoyed every moment of it. It's been a lot of fun. It's definitely been different because it's fully remote. I did have remote, kind of half remote jobs in the past, but this is the first time it's been fully remote. I am going into an office 1 day a week. So I guess it's not technically fully remote, but the company is pretty much fully remote. And I only go in that 1 day a week. Sometimes I don't go in at all. And I don't really think it was that big of an adjustment because I have done partial remote before, but I really enjoy it, and I get to use my degree, which a lot of people don't get to use their degree in their job, and there are so many amazing people that work for the company and other coworkers that I'm working with that are outside of the company, and I just really enjoyed it. And I've talked about this a little bit, but I was pretty much jobless almost the entirety of 2020, and it was really, really hard. It was just a really sad time, and this job really helped me a lot to be a lot happier, and just I get to use different parts of my degree, get to explore new types of things within communications and digital media, and that was just one of the best things that's happened to me in 2021. The next thing that happened kind of around the same time as I got the new job is I got a new pet. I got a leopard gecko. She's an albino leopard gecko, and today that I'm recording this is actually her birthday. I wanted to get a leopard gecko, and I wanted a white leopard gecko. They have lots of different patterns, but I kind of just liked how weird the white ones looked. And so I found her at a reptile show, and she is so cute. Her name is Fettuccine Alfredo. She's a leopard gecko, and I don't know why I didn't do an episode dedicated to her this year. I definitely want to do one in the future, but she's so adorable. You can see pictures of her on my Instagram and my lizard's Instagram that'll be linked in the episode description. But yeah, I love her so much. She's been so much fun, and I can't believe I already had her for almost a year. She was born a couple months obviously before I got her, so I picked her birthday because they didn't have her actual birthday, so I picked the day that I'm recording this, December 13th, which is also Taylor Swift's birthday. But yeah, she's been so cute and so fun, and they are really, really cute animals. I love them so much. So that was very, very exciting. The next thing I probably should have led with, but I got vaccinated. I knew that when they announced that vaccines were being developed, that they would not be developed for about a year. And I got my vaccine, I think the last one was in May. It's been so great. I mean, obviously you still have to be cautious. You still have to wear a mask. Being vaccinated has just alleviated a lot of stress on me. And, it's just made me feel like I'm a lot safer, and going places and doing things has been a lot less scary and stressful because I am vaccinated. So if you haven't been vaccinated yet, please get vaccinated. It's really important that we all do our part. And yeah, that's just top of the list. Really, really awesome and exciting thing. Another thing that happened was my bocce team actually won the entire tournament. So I play on a bocce league in the DC area, and I've been doing it for a couple of years now. And I also played kickball with that same league. And my team that I have with my friends, and I actually met most of my friends through kickball, we have never won a tournament, whether it was kickball, bocce, anything else we've done. we've never won a tournament. And this year we actually won the bocce tournament, and it was such a long awaited win. My friend Adrienne, she's always been the captain, and she has been waiting to take home that trophy. It's not really a trophy, it's a beer pitcher, and then everyone else gets beer, like little glasses. But she's been waiting to take home that trophy for so long, and she finally did, and it was such a well-needed win, not just for our league, but just for the year. It was just such an exciting thing that happened, and I had to put that on the list. Another exciting life update was that I celebrated my 2-year anniversary with my boyfriend. I'm not going to go into a lot of detail about that because that's not what this podcast is about. But obviously, I wanted to include that because that is a big milestone for me and for him. And yeah, we're very happy, and that's a really awesome thing that happened. That was everything in the life updates category. I'm going to go into the next category, which is actually the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Marvel had quite a bit of releases this year, and I saw all of them. I'm going to go through the list of releases. They're not really in any order. I think I have like movies first and then TV shows, but I've done a couple of podcast episodes on the different TV shows. I'm going to be doing one on Hawkeye when that one finishes. So the first one is Black Widow, and I have been waiting for Black Widow for so long. I always wanted her to have a movie. I don't really understand like why they didn't make a movie like a long time ago. Like in my perfect world with Marvel, there would have been like 3 Black Widow movies already, but at least we got the movie, and I actually went to see it in the theater, and I loved it so much. I know a lot of people didn't think that it was like the best Marvel movie. My sister wasn't super in love with it, but I really enjoyed it. I have watched it again on Disney Plus, and I thought it was a really, really good movie, and I'm just really happy that she was finally able to have her own film. Another one was Shang-Chi. I didn't see that one in the theater. It came out like at a weird time where I like wasn't feeling like going to the movies, but I did watch it on Disney Plus, and I absolutely loved that movie. I am really happy with the way that the next like generation of heroes is going, because obviously like I love Captain America and Iron Man, and you know I'm sad that they're like no longer in the universe anymore, and I was kind of worried like, are these new heroes that they're adding, like are they gonna fit in? Are they gonna be like good within like the whole aspect of the universe? But I absolutely love Shang-Chi. I thought it was a really good movie. I'm happy where the direction of the cinematic universe is going, and I highly recommend that you see Shang-Chi. It is so good. I have nothing but good things to say about it. The last movie is The Eternals. I did see that in the theater. I went and saw it with my parents, and we really liked it. Definitely very different than a lot of the other movies. I feel like a lot of people were like, oh, it's going to be like the next Avengers. No, it's very different from the Avengers. If it's like any other movies, I feel like it's kind of like Doctor Strange or maybe Guardians of the Galaxy. It kind of has like vibes of both of those. Not like the funniness with Guardians of the Galaxy, just sort of like the hodgepodge of people coming together, like that kind of aspect of it. But I really enjoyed it. I thought it was really good. I thought like the twists were really interesting. The end credits scene, I'm not going to spoil it, but that I was kind of like, that's a little random of you to pick that actor to play that person. I don't care because I like that person that they picked. I was just kind of like, it's a little random. I don't really know who like casted him in it. But again, I'm not going to spoil that. But yeah, I really liked Eternals. Again, I highly recommend that you see it. I think it's coming on Disney Plus in January. So yeah, have yourself a little Marvel movie marathon. The next thing is just all of the TV shows. I'm going to kind of breeze through most of them. There's 2 shows on here that I didn't yet cover on the podcast, so I'll just breeze through WandaVision, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and Loki. Again, if you want to hear my thoughts and opinions on all of those, I do have individual episodes for them, but I loved all of them. Definitely WandaVision was my favorite, but I have since rewatched all of them, and they're really, really good. So yeah, love them. Check out those episodes if you want to hear all my thoughts on them. What If? I didn't actually do an episode on What If. I feel like I was kind of busy around the time when that came out, so I didn't do an episode on that. So probably for season 2 of What If, I'll do an episode and maybe just like recap the first season. But I really liked that. I have been, interested in that kind of, scenario plotline. When they announced that a couple of years ago, that was one of the shows that I was really interested in seeing. So I thought it was really cool. It was really innovative. If you don't know what it is, it's basically scenarios of what would happen if, the one was if Peggy Carter was Captain America. What if T'Challa was taken by Yondu instead of taking Peter Quill? And it was really, really cool. And again, it was animated, and they used, I would say, like 90% of the actors came back to do their voices. There were some people that didn't come back, whether or not they didn't want to, or they were busy, or they weren't asked to do it. I don't know. I don't have the tea on that. But I really, really liked What If. I'm really excited for season 2. And I want to see, like, how is that going to play into the MCU? Because I don't know if this is just completely removed from the films or if it's going to tie in somehow. So I'm very excited to see where they're going to take that. Another side note is they actually have been tying the movies into the Disney Plus shows and vice versa. So I know some people, when they saw Black Widow, the end credits, there was a character in there that someone in the audience was like, who's that? Like, come on. Like, if you don't watch the shows, you're not going to get the movies now, or vice versa. So I'm happy that they're integrating the two, but I'm just interested to see what they're going to do with the What If series, bringing that into the movies. And the last thing is Hawkeye. That is actually on right now, so I do want to do an episode on that. I'm really liking it. I always loved Hawkeye. I like Jeremy Renner a lot, and I like the character of Clint. So when they announced that this was going to be a show, I was excited, but I didn't think I was going to like it as much, and it's actually, like, really interesting. Like, I wasn't really sure, like, how they were gonna, like, make that kind of interesting, because I know in the comics, Kate Bishop is, like, really important and stuff, and they do work together in the comics and everything, but I didn't know how that dynamic was gonna, like, work on the show. But I really, really like it. I'm very excited to see what they're gonna do with the show. And again, movies tying into the shows, there's a lot of tie-in, and then that's all I'm gonna say. But I am really enjoying Hawkeye so far. The next category I'm going to talk about is travel. Now, I will preface that if you are not vaccinated, if you are living in an area that is very, not travel friendly and everything, that traveling during the pandemic is probably not a good idea. However, I felt safe to go to these places, and I took the right precautions before I went to these places. And if you want to say that I'm being endangering or not being smart or whatever, then that's your opinion. But I took all the precautions that I could while I was in these places, and also before I went to these places and after. So just wanted to preface that. One thing that I kind of lumped together, because technically this would be like 22 things, but I'm lumping these ones together, and that is Harry Potter stuff that I went to. I went to the Harry Potter store. Again, I did a whole episode on that, so actually did 2 episodes on that, so check that one out. And then I also went to Harry Potter World. I went there. I went to both these places with my boyfriend, and we had such a good time at Harry Potter World. It was so much fun to go back there and have the butterbeer and just wear our robes and take pictures by the castle and go on all the rides. And it was so much fun. I hadn't been to Universal Studios in Florida since 2017, so I'd been dying to go back, and I had such an amazing time. We went on, like, the new Hagrid motorbike ride, which is probably my favorite ride of all time. My boyfriend did go on the Velocicoaster. I will not be going on that unless everyone who is there with me Venmos me $500 before I go on the ride. So next time I'm there, boys, if you guys, the boys who I went with, there was only me and one other girl that were on this little, like, actually, well, the one day it was a bunch of dudes and then me and another girl. But for the most part, it was just me and all the boys. But boys, yeah, if y'all wanna, like, Venmo me $500 before we go on Velocicoaster next time, I'll go on it. Probably never gonna happen. And then the Harry Potter store, again, like I said, I did a whole episode on that, so you can learn all my thoughts and opinions on Harry Potter store. Spoiler alert, it is worth it. It's amazing. Another thing, last episode actually was all about the Ren fairs that I went to. So yeah, check that episode out for all of my information on the Ren fairs and what I thought about it. But it was so much fun. I love going to, like, festivals and doing things like that, and I had such an amazing time. Renaissance fairs are so much fun. Even if you're not into, like, dressing up or into medieval stuff, like, it's still really, really fun. There's lots of shops, lots of food, lots of booze. it's a really good time. And the last thing with traveling, I did an episode on this, was Awesome Con. I had such an amazing time. If you see in the background, if you're watching the video version of the podcast, you can see in the background my autographs there, and the one in the middle is Adam Savage. I did meet Adam Savage from Mythbusters. That was just so much fun. That was one of the highlights of the year, to be honest. Meeting him, he is such an inspiration. He was so important to me when I was growing up, and just getting to meet him was really, really fun. And I dressed up like Starlight from The Boys, and Harley Quinn, and who else did I dress? Did I dress up the first day? Oh my goodness, I'm blanking if I cosplayed the first day. I guess I'll just have to rewatch or re-listen to my episode on AwesomeCon to figure out who I was. So yeah, if you want to learn about any of those things that I talked about, any of my travels that I did this year, I did have episodes on all of those, so feel free to check those out. The last category that I'm going to be talking about is music. There were some really awesome music things that came out this year. Music things, albums, concerts. Oh my goodness. My brain is turning into mush this year. The first thing I want to talk about is ABBA releasing a new album after like 30 years. I love ABBA. They are one of my absolute favorite artists, bands, groups. I adore them. I love Mamma Mia, obviously. If you don't know, Mamma Mia is a musical that's made out of all of like ABBA songs. But ABBA released a new album after 30 years, and it is so good. It has the same feel, the same vibes, the same everything of the original albums, and I really, really liked that album. I need to listen to it a lot more. I got preoccupied with a couple other albums that I will get to in just a minute. But I loved it so much. I love ABBA. They are so wholesome. Their music is so good. They've actually influenced a lot of musicians, and they're just such wholesome people. I just love their artistry, their vibe, just everything about them. And they really do just love the music so much. And it was really awesome to have an album from them come out during these times. It was really incredible. The next thing for music I want to talk about is the Jonas Brothers tour. I went to it with my mom and my sister in October, and it was so awesome. I saw their tour in 2019, the Happiness Begins one, with my mom. But when this tour was announced, I had to get tickets for my mom, my sister, and I, and we were in like the front section. We weren't in the front row, but we were maybe in like 10, 15 rows back from like where the stage was. So we were in like a really good spot. I am at the point in my life where I've been to so many concerts, and I've sat pretty much in like every section that you can sit in. And I'm done with sitting far away. If I'm going to a concert, I want to be up front. Obviously, like if I'm going to get tickets to the Elton John concert, I'm not going to pay like $1 bajillion to sit in like the front row for Elton John. So for that, like I'll probably have to be like closer to the back. But if I can get close seats and they're not like $10 billion for a ticket, I'm going to get close seats. And to be honest, I don't really remember how much I spent, but to be honest, the tickets for the Jonas Brothers, it was worth it. They weren't like outrageously expensive for the 3 tickets. I was able to purchase them with my income. But yeah, I'm at this point where if I can afford closer seats, I'm getting them. I'm treating myself, and I just loved the concert. I thought it was amazing. They are so good live. That's like the 3rd time I've seen them live, and I enjoyed every minute of it. It was so much fun. The last 3 things for the 2021 list are all about Taylor Swift. Of course, I've done a couple of episodes on Taylor Swift. Again, you can listen to those episodes anytime you want to. And the first thing is the Fearless album. She re-released Fearless. Again, and I know I keep saying this, and I just said it, and it's the last time I'll say it, but I did an episode on why Taylor Swift is re-recording her albums, and then I also did an episode on her Folklore album, because that was like, oh my god, she released an album, blah, blah, blah. Crazy. So I did an episode on the Folklore album, and also the re-recording. So if you don't know why she's re-recording, or you just want to hear my thoughts on it, check out that episode. But she re-released Fearless this year, and I loved Fearless. Fearless was such an amazing album. It came out in a time in my life where I was like literally didn't know what the heck was going on, and I just I relate to all of her music, but Fearless was, that was like my freshman year of high school that came out, and I remember listening to all the music. I remember playing so many of those songs on guitar and performing so many of those songs from Fearless, seeing the concert, and I also loved the Vault songs. She released songs that she had never recorded before. She's doing that for all of the albums, like songs that didn't make the cut for the album. And I loved all of those ones that she had for the Fearless album. So the new album was, or the re-recorded album of it was so good. The next album that she released this year was Red. She re-recorded Red, and Red is one of my top 3 favorite Taylor Swift albums. I have so many fond memories of listening to that CD in college. It came out freshman year of college, and I remember getting it and having my roommate drive me and my best friend to Target so we could get it the day it was released. And I remember like doing a little photo shoot with the album and passing the CD around to everybody in my dorm hall. And I loved Red. I loved it so much. And again, the Vault songs were really good. And she also did a music video for one of the Vault songs. My favorite Vault song is I Bet You Think About Me. She did the music video for that. It was really, really cool music video. One of my favorites that she's done. And yeah, I loved that album so much. And I'm so happy that I can actually listen to it on streaming and Spotify and everything. It was amazing. The last best thing of 2021 also has to do with Red and Taylor Swift. It was the All Too Well 10-minute version short film that Taylor Swift released. So the song All Too Well is a fan favorite song. It's just become like one of the, most iconic songs that she's ever written. Was one of the best songs she's ever written. In my opinion, it is the best one she's ever written. And she released the 10-minute version of All Too Well on the re-recorded Red album, and basically the original version of the song was 10 minutes, and she wasn't able to put the 10 minutes on the album because back then, like, her record label was like, no one's gonna listen to this song if it's 10 minutes, you can't do that, blah blah blah. Meanwhile, it's like one of the most streamed songs of the year, and it's only been out for a couple months. But she she released a short film to go along with the 10-minute version of All Too Well, and it starred CD Sink and Dylan O'Brien, and that was so awesome. It was so good. The acting in it was really, really good, and it told the story of the song, what she went through. I loved it so much. I hope that she does more things like that in the future, because she's just so talented, and I love her. I can go on and on about my obsession with her. But that was definitely a highlight of 2021. That's pretty much it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed learning about my 21 best things of 2021. I hope you had a good year. If you didn't, I hope that next year is better for you. If you did, I'm really happy for you. And like I said in the beginning, don't stop wearing masks. Please get vaccinated. Please keep social distancing. Please, have fun and do things, but do them safely and take the right precautions before you do them and after you do them. And while you're doing them. I'm really excited to see what 2022 holds, and I think it's going to be a really good year. I'm really looking forward to it. So please stay safe, stay classy, and I will chat again with you soon. Goodbye.